I am Prisha Gupta from India, and my project was AI Assistant for Understanding Rocket.Chat's core repository. Firstly, I would like to express my gratitude towards my mentor Vinayak Sharma for his unwavering support and guidance throughout the GSoC program. His valuable insights and corrections have been invaluable in helping me build an AI assistant for Rocket.Chat's core repository. This is something about me. I'm a programmer and a tech enthusiast who is deeply interested in machine learning, cloud computing, DevOps, and code programming. I'm doing my engineering from Vivekananda Institute of Professional Studies, New Delhi. So about the background of my project and why I chose this project. Now, Rocket.Chat's core repository is a very big repository. Many contributors try to contribute. Even this year, we have more than 500 plus contributors, but 90% of them gave up till the end. Why? Because the repo is too big and huge to understand. It's overwhelming for a new contributor to understand what is happening. So to make that task easier, we built an assistant, a AI-based code assistant, which can help the developers to know the insights about the Rocket.Chat's core repo and which can help them in analyzing their work and task. Now, the problem statement, as I've already told you, the Rocket.Chat's core base is really large and it's taking months for developers to understand. An email assistant is needed to help developers learn and navigate the code base. The chatbot should never answer code-related question and explain workflow via stats commands. We have now the chatbot is not on its own answering any question. We have given a full context, which I'll tell you in this section in the overview of the project. So we have divided the application into a client-server application. A client-server architecture has been built, the Rocket.Chat application, and the ingestion server. I'll give you a look. This is the node Neo4j. We have the entities in. This is the look of the entities which we have in Neo4j. You can have a look here. A file is being critically noded with the high centrality and the relationship between each and every node. So this is specialized on Rocket.Chat's core repo only. So you can see there are relations, and these relations are being created like this: the call by relation, in file, used in, and local of. These are the relations through which these entities are being related, through which if you call an entity, you know the past and future, all the in degrees and out degrees nodes, its importance, the similar entities you have. ID is a unique ID. It starts with file path, node number, starting line number, end line number. This is a unique ID, which is unique to all the entities. So if even the entity is not encountered till now, it will be encountered in future. We can predict the entity, and the prediction is 100% true. So that is why our model will not lag, even if the entity is under processed till now. It is a parallel processing model in which we processed in batches, which is giving us a very good result. Now, this is the architecture. This is the Rocket Chatter app. The user is giving us some commands, and you can see there is application server. If you will get a response, if you will get success, it will give you success. And if a failure will give you a failure. This is the ingestion server. We have included CI/CD pipelines, and a triggered webhook is there. So the ingestion server is triggered till a new version is released. We have binded it to a new version release of the RC. Whenever a new version will be released, all the pre-processing will be done again. And also will trigger a webhook to notify the admin that the Rocket base is on the mark. Now, these are the commands. The help command, this was suggested by my mentor. It lists down all the use cases, making it easier for a developer to interact with the environment. It will give you about all the 10 commands, which I'm going to tell you now. It will give you a zest so that you can understand what is going on in the environment. Now, let's come to the RCC ask code. The developer can ask any freestyle question about any entity. If you are working on an entity and you are stuck, you don't know what to do, you can ask the code base. It will give you the answer. The system will provide a detailed explanation of the entity by automatically setting up the context, because it has the context with him. Neo4j will provide the entity's context, and you know what exactly is happening. Now, this was about the code. If you are stuck in code. Now, docs. If you don't know how to send a message, if you don't know what to do to download a Docker file, and like even in GSoC, we all had a problem how to set up Mac. in Rocket Chat environment in Mac. So that problem can be overcome by ask docs command. It has already web scrapped all the documentation available on the website on Rocket Chat's interface, and you can ask with that ask docs function. Now document, ask document command. This was RCC document command was given because for the documentation purpose, the developers don't document code, and it is a very boring and tedious task to document code. So for that, we can use the document function. It will document the code on the basis of the context provided in the Rocket Chat. In the same format, the above codes are being documented. So it will be easier for the new developers to read the documentation and ask the questions from the AI assistant. Now, RCC importance. It tells how important a node is, how critical a node is. It calculates that in degree and out degree, on the basis of in degree and out degree from the graph. So this command is important if you want to delete a node. If you want to delete a node from the code base, you can know its importance, and then only you can delete. Now find similar. Find similar command, you can find similar code you're working on. If someone has already made a code similar to your code, you can check it, you can make changes in that rather than writing a code on your own. It takes a code snippet. Rest all commands are taking entities, but this command takes a code snippet of his whole. Now, RCC improve, this command also takes the code snippets. It helps in improving by repetitive. If you are using if else, it will give you a better switch case if it is there, a switch case alternative, because the LLM is there at processing. It will also give you the method, like if you're using async await and the code base is using promises dot then to resolve, then it can give you that pattern. So that there is a pattern in the code base is same, and it is easier for the next user to read it, and there is a similar pattern. Then why used? Why used? A system provides a clear understanding and explanation about why specific code entities are being used. So that if you're confused why this code snippet is here, you can check it out. RCC test case. Now this is, as a developer, this is for me was a very important command. So that is why I added it over here. So the thinking about test cases and different test cases, so I have variety of test cases and I know my code is ready or not. It was a very tedious task, so I made a command which can tell me at least 3 to 5 test cases which will cover a variety of code and test cases which can be run, and I know if I'm right or wrong and if I need to modify the code. So that is why I added it over here. Then the last one is translate. The translate command, the different programming languages, the developers are coming from different programming languages. They're facing collaborations and knowledge sharing across diverse development environments. So someone is coming from Python and wants to you know contribute to the Rocket Chat's core repo, but it is in TypeScript and JavaScript, so there's a language barrier. There are some problems. So the translate command, without changing any logic or context, it will translate the code. I know one question will be arrived that LLMs are so advanced these days, so why this is important? You can use Copilot, you can use GPT for that matter, but they don't have the specific context. This one is having a specific context. They have all the nodes, they're linking nodes, what they're dependent to, the in degree and out degree. It already shows which nodes are coming from which nodes are related to which nodes. We have the documentation part over here. It's in the nodes. So you can get a very good overview over there. Plus some tools are paid, like GPT-4 is paid and Copilot is paid. So this one is free, of course. So you can use it and the contributions can be increased. That is, I want that to happen. And even diagramming, which was for future. So I had one command which generated diagram, as visual representation is more good rather than the documented one. No one likes to read so many big paragraphs. So if you know, like I had the architecture one diagram, so one can easily get through that. So that is why I made one command which was diagram, but that was not working very properly. It was giving diagrams, but that needed some improvement. That is why I'm not adding it over here. That is for my future scope, and I'm sure I'm gonna build it. 90% work is done, 10% is left. That is why I've not added it in this. Now, I think the moment we all were waiting for was demo. So let me give the demo of the commands. So here is RCC document command, and I'm gonna add the function, the entity over here, which is send email. Can add any entity. This was the one I remember. I think there is some issue with the back. It was working. It's not working right now because there was some issue with Neo4j. So I'm sorry, it's working right now. It's working. I'm gonna add another one. It's taking too much time. I don't know what happened. Actually, I guess there is some issue with the back. The send email function, actually, it was there to send email, but I have made, to be safe, the videos for readme file, and I guess it will be useful over here to show. Can I show these videos, please? Actually, the Neo4j instance was lost today when my laptop crashed. That is why I just uh, made it on the local instance as soon as I could. But can I show you in the videos? These were made. I can share the playlist. You can check it yourself. It's the same one which I'm working on, and you can see here. This was the ask code. This was the diagram command which I removed. I was giving diagrams. See, these diagrams are being generated over here. This was the document function. The code is being explained over here, and we have the document function. See, this is giving the documentation, the whole results for the documentation. This was for the find similar, when you can find the similar functions. We have every function which is being used in here. So the challenges I faced were architecture design, and I used recast for parsing, and diagram generation which is incomplete till now. Future scope, I would like to make diagrams more accurate and versatile. With they are 90% done, but 10% they are not working till now. And I would like to add multilingual support so every developer can contribute. Thank you so much.